This time, I don't have a query. I have a spreadsheet of data that needs a proper home in the database. I want the AI to look at the data and give me a create table script with the right data types, constraints, and a primary key. But this spreadsheet has real employee names and job titles in it. I'm not pasting that into a public AI. Same process, anonymize the sensitive columns, let the AI see only the structure and decode the answer. Here's the data we'll use. It's an employee spreadsheet. Imagine this was handed to you in Excel. Select the rows in Excel, or whatever you have, and copy. Let's say someone handed you an employee spreadsheet and you need to build a table for it. You could design it yourself, but let the AI do the heavy lifting. Data types, constraints, the whole create table. On the Anonymize tab, paste the data into a new data card. Click Parse. Now choose what to mask. Check Employee ID, first name, last name, job title, and salary to anonymize them. For each masked field, the grid shows two inputs, a prefix that shapes the masked values, handy to force a data type inference. A numeric prefix like 1 keeps the value looking like integers. 1.1 looks like a decimal. And a field code that becomes the anonymized column name. The field code defaults to an opaque F1, F2, etc. that always decodes back, and you can type your own in that column. Leave hire date, birth date, marital status, gender, vacation hours, and sick leave hours visible. Those are values and structures, not secrets. The AI needs to see the actual dates, numbers, and short codes to infer the right data types. I hide the names, job titles, and employee ID. That's the sensitive part. Everything else stays visible because the AI needs to see real dates and numbers to pick the right data types. Actually, I hide the employee ID and salary as well, but the numeric and decimal prefix is inferring an integer and number. Let's see how AI treats it. Marital status is a single character. All things I don't mind AI seeing. Now click Anonymize. After clicking Anonymize Data, you'll get a prompt asking for further input. You can click Cancel, Proceed without linking, which will be covered more later, or Anonymize all fields. If I click Proceed without linking, then it will leave the field names unanonymized. If retaining your field names are of no consequence to you for AI, then go ahead and choose this. It will only anonymize the data in those fields. However, if you click Anonymize all fields, then it will, of course, anonymize that data in the fields, but also anonymize all of the field names. It anonymizes the field names using the field code for each column, the opaque F1, F2, etc. defaults, or whatever you typed in that column. Move on over now to prompt ignition. Select your dataset and pick your SQL platform. Type your request in the My Request box. Let's type, I need to store this data in my database. Write a create table statement with appropriate data types, constraints, and a primary key. Side note, at this point, I can choose a field from the anonymized table at my cursor position, which will get coded in the build prompt. I'm using F1 as the unique identifier. Continuing on, add any not null constraints or defaults that make sense based on the sample data. Also suggest any indexes that would be useful. The AI preserves my anonymized column names and my data set values, so Decode can swap them back. See how the prompt includes the sample data with the names masked and the structural columns visible. Notice there are no real names anywhere, just codes and raw values. This is safe to send. Click Send to AI. It built the whole thing. Primary key, proper data types, constraints, even indexes, and it's all still in my anonymized column names. Now, click Decode. Every anonymized column name and data element swaps back to the real name. Employee ID, first name, last name, job title, salary, and the create table is now ready to run. Now there's still some slight cleanup left to be done. Take a look at the table name. We never fed it a table name, so it just gave it a generic table1 table name. Go ahead and change that to the desired name. You'll also want to change the table name on the create index. Go ahead and also verify that all your data types are exactly as you want them to be. It did infer the employee ID correctly as an int, but you may want to change the date to a different date data type. And also take a look at salary. Now it did infer it correctly as a decimal, but you may want to change that 8 point to a 2. Now there is one thing that the AI did forget to perform. It left out the actual data set in the script. So let's go back to the build prompt. We'll write another request to include the missing data so that we can add it to the script and we can run it all together.